The image that the LF and the signature produces seems to me more like what my eyes see than anything else I've experienced so far. The thing about the design of this, obviously, it's one of the smallest cameras so far I've ever used. I used to have a BL. The lenses I used were the distagons or the planars, and they would have been about that big. So the camera would have been this big, and the lens would have been that big, but now the camera's that big and the lens is that big, which seems kind of ironic. It's a beautiful piece of design. I was surprised at the quality difference between a standard Alexa and the LF. If you're actually studying it on a big screen, it's remarkable, the difference in quality and the roll-off and the subtlety of the tones in it. Yeah, that was the thing that struck me most, actually. If you shot 1600 or 3200, you know, I know you can always underexpose, but there should be like a, 4800 or something setting, because it's remarkable, the image quality. Yeah, you get a certain amount of noise at 3200, but it's only equivalent as changing from 100 ASA stock to a 500 ASA stock. It's probably not even that, frankly. It's a minimal amount of noise. I could quite imagine myself shooting the whole thing at that setting to have that little bit of noise. It's a consistent, nice texture, on a certain film, that would be probably quite a good thing to have. I love the LF format because you can shoot a close-up on a 40 and it doesn't have the distortion of a 35 or 32, but it has the field of view somewhere between a 35 and a 32, I think, something like that anyway. I wanted a lens that was the balance between being able to shoot a wide shot and be able to shoot an intimate close-up. It's just a great balance in the terms of the depth of field and just the feel of the image. Somebody asked me the other day, well, does that mean you'll always shoot with an LF? That one I don't know. I mean, I go film to film and think about it, hopefully fresh again, with all the options open, But I'd be pretty tempted, as I say. Somehow it feels more natural to me, that format, just in terms of the lens and the frame size, What I want of a lens is I want it to be small because I want the camera system to be ergonomically friendly. I don't like vignetting. I don't like breathing. I'm not somebody that will go to old lenses because I like the patina of an old lens or something. I don't understand that myself. I want the sharpest, cleanest. I want a lens that shows the world or records the world the way I see it, which is, I got pretty good eyesight. It's pretty sharp. So I basically, I've always used primes. I started off with the Dice Distagons and the planars, Cooks for years, the Cook S4s. Then I went to the Master Primes. So then coming to the LF, we did a lot of tests with various lenses, but for me, the signatures are the cleanest I've seen. I like to shoot with natural light sources. I like to shoot with practicals. And often I'm shooting at something that's very bright, and might be in quite a pin source. So I want something that flares as little as possible. I can't stand flares. I find any artifact that is like on the surface of the image is a distraction for me. The audience or I am then aware that I'm looking at something that's been recorded with a camera. I kind of shy away from that. So the signatures, they're pretty amazing for a large format camera like that, I think. And they're very lightweight. They are a bit big, but I understand why they're big. But but they're also very fast. That's the other thing. There's no point having a beautiful, clean lens that's that size if it's, T4 or something, I like cameras to be small and intimate. I like shooting with a small crew and I operate myself. I like things to be like this, small and intimate. I don't want the technology and the presence of the film crew to kind of overwhelm the scene, really. We went to Munich. I went there to do a seminar at the film school. We went through all the other things that Arri have been developing, and we saw the Trinity. And I hadn't seen that bit of equipment before. One of the things that really drew me to the Trinity was the fact it's a very stable image. I mean, it doesn't float. It doesn't float quite like a Steadicam floats either. There's something about it that is a little bit more lock solid. Obviously, the thing about the Trinity is the ease with which you can move up and down. You can do a shot that flows. You can, for instance, be on somebody's feet walking and go up to their back and around to the front. And there's an enormous amount of things you can do it that you can't do with a Steadicam. And if you were doing it on an aerocrane with a remote head, it would take you enormous amount of time to lay the track. The Trinity was kind of an eye-opener. It's a move in a direction I think that camera stabilizing systems is going to be moving. I really think that's the future. You know, we used the Trinity a lot on this last film, a lot. We always had a back and forth about technology, the way technology is going, the way cinematography is going, you know, the desires, the little things that would make it better. And there's always things you want to do with a camera that probably not considered by the necessarily the people making what you put a camera through, you know, on a normal shoot, let alone extreme sort of things that we would do with it on the last shoot. And a few others, really. So it's good to have that interchange of ideas with, in our case, with Franz and many other people at Arri, yeah. How much smaller will it get? That's what I want to... You know, that's really nice about cameras, right? As I get older, they get smaller and lighter. It's kind of good, really.